Rakbas. So, Alhamdulillah, today, now we are going to look at the 4 preconditions of what you saw yesterday. So, yesterday was like a review, what you've done, but that review was obstacles to the spiritual openings. Today, you're going to look at the 4 preconditions of the spiritual openings. The 4 preconditions. What does preconditions mean? Who can tell me? What do you think preconditions means? No trick question.
You have to sort of fulfill them. It's the foundation that you can build up. Without that, that would be unstable.
That's right. So you have to fulfill them. When do you fulfill them? Before, middle, after?
Using the name pre.
Exactly. Pre tells you that you have to fulfill them beforehand. So if you want the spiritual openings, these come first. So inshallah, now we'll begin. 4 preconditions of the spiritual openings. But even these preconditions, they have, if you can see the screens inshallah, when the PowerPoint comes on, these preconditions, they also have preconditions. These preconditions also have preconditions. So the very first precondition before these, and I've not mentioned what the 4 are yet. Can someone tell me what was the first thing that we had to, the first obstacle yesterday? What was the first obstacle, brothers?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Was it to do with following the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Okay, mashallah, that's correct. But in the words that were used yesterday, what was the first of the 6 obstacles to spiritual openings? What was the first one? Brother behind you. Thank you for trying.
So basically, the 7 bodily organs.
Yes.
So we have, it's about your tongue. How do you use your tongue?
Mashallah, that's 1. And what were the other 3? So the 7 bodily organs.
So we have tongue, we have eyes, we have ears, hands, feet, stomach, and private parts.
Yes, mashallah. So they're the 7 organs. And then what were the other 3 after it? Anyone?
Then we have the purification of the mind,
Yes.
the heart, and the nafs.
Yes, the nafs, the soul. So, thank you, Jazakallah. So these are the 4 preconditions to spiritual openings. Without them being pure and purified, they will stop a person's spiritual journey. The second one, the 7 levels of yaqeen, they will stop them. And you will not be able to have the vision of Jannah, Jahannam, the Holy Prophet ﷺ. These things will be blocked and stopped. So these are 4 preconditions. Many people, it's like you trying to pray but not doing wudu. Is your prayer going to be accepted even you do the best prayer in the world? No. It's a precondition you have to do beforehand. But wudu also has preconditions. It also has preconditions. You have to be using clean water. You have to do certain parts of the body. There's many other conditions that have to be met as well. So similarly, there is preconditions to these 4. And that is knowing your whole story. And if you don't know your story, where you came from, where you are, and where you're going, then these preconditions, doesn't make sense. Why do we need to do them? Why do I need to purify the body, the 7 organs, the eyes, hands, feet, and so on? So this journey now, you're not going to travel this journey with me with the slides. You're going to travel this journey with me with your thoughts. So have a good look at the slides. Make sure you're sat somewhere where you can see both screens. You don't need to be sat in semicircle now. You need to be sat just so that you can see the screen. Then we're going to have the lights turned down and you're going to follow my words and I'm going to take you through this journey, but you're going to use just your thoughts. And by thoughts, what does thoughts mean? Thoughts just means, if I say Day of Judgment, you just think about the Day of Judgment. You don't need to see it. You just think about the Day of Judgment, the thought of the Day of Judgment. If I say the Angel of Death, you think about the Angel of Death. You don't need to say it. You don't need to see it. Imagine it. Those of you who can do imagination, you can see the picture in your mind. Then if I say Day of Judgment, you try to imagine the Day of Judgment. If I say the Jahannam, the hellfire, you try to imagine it. So only these two. Can everyone in here think? Everyone can think? So everyone, put your hand up if you can think. Then this means, mashallah, everybody can do this with me. So now if we can have the lights turned down. Have a good look at the diagram, because very shortly we're going to close it and you're going to follow what I say. So now if you close your eyes, relax, sit comfortably, and now I want you to think that you see a road in front of you, and you see a road, a path behind you, and the two roads represent the future and the past. And we are going to turn around and go into the past. Now you are walking on the road into the past, going backwards in time. And you can see this world rewinding and rewinding and rewinding. It's as though it's spinning the opposite direction, incredibly fast. You're looking at this dunya from space, and you can see the earth spinning backwards in time. You can see the stars, the galaxies, other planets, everything's being pulled back together. It's as though they're all being sucked into one spot. And now in front of you, you are able to see, as the scientists say, the Big Bang. You can see when everything is being exploded into existence. But instead of exploding, it is imploding. It is going inside. And now there is no earth. It's disappeared. There is nothingness. And now you're entering into the spiritual world of the Barzakh or the Alme Arwah, which is the world of spirits. Now you are existing only as a spirit. There's no body. This is a time when only your spirit existed. And now you are hearing the command and the speech Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to all the creations in their spiritual forms, not in their physical forms, but their spirits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking them, if I give you this trust, and if you disobey me with this trust, I will punish you in such a way I have never punished anyone before you. But if you take this trust and you obey me, I will reward you in such a way that no one has been rewarded before. You are witnessing different creations, the skies, the heavens, different spirits, spirits of animals, spirits of human beings, spirits of angels. They are all trembling. The sun, the stars, they also have spirits. Their spirits are also being asked this question. And they are trembling and trembling. But there are two creations saying, yes, O Allah, we will take it. Now, you have said that as well. So say to Allah, O Allah, I will take it. So what is this trust? You look inside yourself in your heart and you can see a yellow bright light, and it is called the freedom of will. Now time is passing, going forward. There are no other creations except all the human beings and the jinnat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gathered you, all of you. You are putting your hands together to take a promise, and Allah is asking you, questioning you, taking a promise from you, saying, am I not your Lord? You hear everyone saying the answer, and you are saying it as well, that yes, O Allah, you certainly are our Lord. Now you have taken this promise. Time is passing forward. Many things happen in this world, but they are all passing forward, and we are coming back into this world. You are in the form of a baby. You have just been born. You are growing into a small child, from a child to a teenager. From a teenager, you are an adult. And now you are growing old. Your skin is becoming wrinkly. Your hair is becoming grey. And a visitor has come in front of you. And this visitor only visits you once to take something from you. And the visitor's name is the angel of death. And he's stood in front of you, all in black, eyes white with no pupil, a black robe surrounding him, and he is putting his hand into your heart, and he is extracting your soul. You are asking for 1 minute more. And he is saying that your time is up. Now you are in the grave and in the graveyard. People are walking away. Your family, your relatives, your children, your parents. They are walking away, and you are left in the grave. Two very scary angels, hair of lightning, hair of fire, no smile upon their face, and they are asking you questions. You have sat up, and the question is, who is your Lord? You are mumbling. You cannot say the answer. You don't know the answer. You want to say Allah, but you cannot. Then they say, what is your religion? You know the answer, but you cannot say it. You are mumbling. And now they ask you, and they show you a vision, a picture of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And they ask you, what did you used to say about this person in the world? You know who this blessed personality is, but you cannot say the blessed name. You are mumbling. And now the angels disappear, the grave expands, the fire connected with Jahannam is entering this grave. But you are protected as you are only witnessing. There is a bubble surrounding you, This bubble is all around your body, and no punishment can touch you. But you can see fire surrounding you up and down in every direction. There are scorpions, snakes slithering around your body. They are trying to bite you, but the bubble from the mashayikh is protecting you. They cannot bite through this bubble, through this shell. Snakes so big that your entire body could be engulfed by this one snake, and the snake is trying to engulf you and wrap you around its tail. You are crying to Allah, Ya Allah, help me, help me, even though you are not tasting the punishment. Now time is passing forward incredibly fast, and we come, the sun has lost its light, the earth has been destroyed, the universe has disappeared and reformed into a straight, complete plane. A trumpet is being blown so loud that it is causing you to rise. You are coming out of your graves, and you see many other people. The sun is above your head. It is so close. It is so bright. You are beginning to drown in sweat. You have no clothes to cover yourself. You have no one to turn to. You see people not in the form of people, but in the form of ants. Those who are arrogant on this earth, people are stepping upon them. You see angels in the sky flying above you, but these are not angels of light. They are angels more of punishment, with whips made of fire, whipping people amongst this group that you are in. You see a light that is trying to find you, a wonderful bright light like a rope, and that light has now surrounded your waist, and this rope of light is pulling you. You are as though flying in the air with this rope pulling you closer and closer and closer. This rope is taking you to the mighty arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this day of judgment. You are coming closer and closer to the source of the rope, and the source of the rope is the mashayikh and the mighty friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that were interceding for you on this day. Now you find yourself below a golden throne that is so vast. It is covering you from this heat of the sun. You are under the shade of the mighty arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are in good company, and now you are happy and satisfied. You can look down and see chaos, billions and billions and billions of people, and chaos on the ground of the Hashr. The mashayikh are telling you, you must go forward and continue your witnessing. Now in the distance it is coming closer, you can see the Jahannam, the animal that is Jahannam. It is so large in size, it is like an animal that this entire plain of Hashr is like one morsel of food. There are chains around the animal, around its neck, around its limbs, and its eyes are made of such fire, just whatever it looks at, that thing becomes inflamed. There are 19 angels holding it, and they are struggling. The Jahannam, the animal, has seen the disobedience servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the disobedient ones that have failed their duty, and it is about to pounce upon the plain of Hashr. It jumps, and by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it stops very close by. Now the animal that is Jahannam opens its mouth incredibly wide, and many, many, many billions of people are being thrown head first inside the mouth of Jahannam. You will go with them, but you will have a bubble that is surrounding you to protect you. You can see the hearts of these people are blackened, despair, crying, worry, filled with every grief to the highest level. And now you are entering the mouth, down the throat of Jahannam. It is so vast that every single cell is a cell of punishment. You are entering into one chamber now. Everything is dark. There are angels, but these are not angels of light again. They are angels of the fire, the angels that remain for punishment. They are bold, they are like skeleton, they have no mercy inside them. They have weapons like swords and spikes, and you see a person upon a table chained. The angel looks at you with no smiling, but only anger, danger, and you walk away. Some of you are feeling very uncomfortable, that you do not want to be here. Think that a voice is saying to you, if you feel uncomfortable thinking of this place, how uncomfortable will it be if you came to this place? Now you will see the blazing fire. You are going down deeper into Jahannam, and it's as though there are volcanoes on your left, on your right, below you, above you. In every direction there is an eruption taking place. This is the blazing fire. It is engulfing you. The blazing fire comes into every cell of your body, to every atom. You can see yourself surrounded by this lava, this magma. You see your skin disappearing, melting, and in a few seconds the skin reappears reformed. Then the blazing fire blazes again, erupts again, and yet again. the skin is reformed. Now we are going to leave this place. You are still protected in your bubble. You have not felt anything. You've only thought it. As fast as we came in, now we leave. And we see a protected and a wonderful island in the sky. You look up and you can see it's like there was no fire where you were. It's like another realm, another world that you are about to enter. There is a waterfall. You enter the waterfall and all the burdens have disappeared. This waterfall is called the Hawd Kausar. There are rivers, there are waterfalls, there are lakes of this beautiful water. It purifies your body and protects your body, prepares your body for entrance into Jannah. You see the door of Jannah in front of you. It is so large. Every single diamond in this door is a special diamond. You are looking inside each diamond, crystal, and you could spend 40 years just stood here. Why? Because look at one diamond, look inside it, and you see a time in the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. You can go into this diamond and you can witness the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ as though you were there beside him. And now another diamond and another incident of the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And this is only on the outside of this wonderful door of Jannah. A voice from inside is saying that this door will open if you remain upon the straight path. Think that one of these diamonds are being gifted to you from this door. It is in your hand, in your right hand, and you are holding it and you are placing it within your chest next to your heart. If you read the seerah and the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and you reach this door, then one day you will live next to the Holy Prophet ﷺ and relive his entire life as though you were with him. So take this gift, yearn to enter this door, because on the other side is the Holy Prophet ﷺ waiting for you. The door is beginning to slowly open, but you will not go inside today. Only the light is shining upon you from within. And now I want you to bring your thoughts back out of, away from the door of Jannah. Time is returning, rewinding back. The world The universe is back in existence. The sun is alive with its light once again. The earth is alive and spinning. You have come upon the earth, into the UK, into this Bolton Zawiya, back into the thoughts of your body. And now you can begin to open your eyes. So firstly, if you take your time, inshallah, that's fine. So that is, rather than seeing with these eyes, the screen and the slides, you can see with your thoughts as well. And that sometimes has more effect upon a person than seeing only with this eye. So if anyone, and this is the type of thing which you'll be practicing later today, when you do the practice of the Miraj. You'll practice like this, inshallah, but there will be more. To enhance the vision more, to make it more clearer, there are things that need to be done beforehand, and inshallah that you will be shown later. So firstly, if anyone likes to mention how their thought experience was, we'll take some feedback from people, and then inshallah we'll continue. So how was anyone's thought journey? Everyone put their hand up when they said they can think. So who followed the thought journey? Ji, yes, brother.
Assalamu alaikum. For me, it was there was a lot going on. Couldn't really focus on one thing. Things going here, there, everywhere. They're not very clear. So that's about it really. And the time, it's at some points it was going faster, sometimes it was going slower. But yeah, just random thoughts coming in from all sides.
Yeah, mashallah, that's something which happens at the beginning. You have random thoughts here and there, but you were following on thought level or imagination level? Were you able to see them or just thinking?
No, I was trying to picture, so I was trying to picture in my own capacity whatever I could.
That's fine. So remember, it was just mentioning that just follow on the thought level, just the words, think of the day of judgment, think of the hellfire. So if you think of on the thought level, everyone can follow. Imagination level comes after. So for now, you just practice on that thought level. As that gets easier and easier, then you'll go to the imagination level and then the level beyond. Inshallah. That's okay. Jazakallah. Anybody else? Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So as you were explaining, what I would say that a couple of seconds before, I could imagine, for example, you were saying the angel of death, and he was wrapping like a black chadar, and then white 2 eyes, and then also in the gate of Jannah, I saw that a purple diamond was given, and then when the door opened, I saw a white light. I wanted to go inside and hug, but then you said it's time to go back.
What that, sorry?
So you said it's time to go back.
It's time to go back.
But I wanted to go inside and hug the white light, but then I had to come back.
Okay.
But it was all imagination, but then I could see all those colors.
And have you done the ascension anything before?
Yes.
You have. Has that happened to you before?
No, because I do it by myself at home.
Okay, so mashallah, you could say congratulations, Mubarak, because already that's one of the objectives for yourself fulfilled, and it's only the first day. So when you see things beyond your control, then that is a sign that you are having, that is a vision. That is one of the first signs that it is Ainul Yaqeen. Because I never said purple. So it was, and if you never thought purple, but the purple stone came. So, and then wanting to go in there and hug the light and everything. What else happened beyond your control?
Before you were actually explaining how Jahannam looks like, I can actually see that, it's like a beast, and angels were actually like trying to hold it. But then it's all imagination, but then all the colors and everything was coming in my mind like 2 seconds before you were explaining it.
So that's the question. How can that be imagination if you were seeing it before I was saying it? Then it can't be imagination, it has to be vision, which means that you were also there. You were present. So you had already, your spirit had travelled and gone there and witnessed it. So mashallah, brother, what's your name?
Ashfaq.
Ashfaq Mubarak, you've come from Canada, which is a long distance journey, alhamdulillah, and Allah SWT has already blessed you. So now only it can improve, and the sight can get better and better as you practice again and again, mashallah. Anybody else? Yes, Mustafa.
I have two questions. One of them is something that I've been struggling to understand. We said if it's things coming to you that are beyond your control, then it's not your imagination. But I mean, our subconscious also. So we have conscious imagination. We also have subconscious imagination. Just like when we dream. I'm trying to understand, when we dream, we have visions that are not in our control, and they may be real and they may not be real. So my first question is, how do we distinguish that between those two?
So the first thing to know is that we haven't even gone through the ascension yet. So we haven't even gone through that. You see the slide here? It says the 4 preconditions of the 4 preconditions. So those questions regarding ascension, imagination, all these things, they are going to be explained to you later on today, inshallah, later on today. Then all of these things automatically will be answered. So any questions related to that, I just wanted to hear the feedback from the people in the room. How was your experience? Because this is an experiential retreat. It is not a theoretical one. Experiential. Experiential means that you will do and you will experience rather than you will just hear. So inshallah, if you ask that question after we go through the ascension slides, Ustad Sajid, Ustad Shalim will go through them as well, and I'll be here too, and then ask the question and it will make much more sense, inshallah. What's the other question?
So for most of my life, I've had both attention issues and fatigue issues, especially and my fatigue issues become even more manifest when I have to give attention to something. So most of my life, anytime I've done any sort of meditation or visualization, my mind wanders and I fall asleep. And that's happened twice today now. How do I deal with that?
Okay, so the first thing is that there are a few things to do. Number one, don't eat too much, don't eat too less. So there's a middle balance in there. Don't eat too much, don't overeat, don't undereat, don't be starving. Number two, don't be too hot, don't be too cold. If you are too hot, you will fall asleep. If you are too cold, you won't be able to focus. So that's number two. Number three, don't be too comfortable how you're sitting. So if you're sitting relaxed like this, you'll fall asleep. But don't be too uncomfortable that your mind cannot transfer and travel somewhere because you are too uncomfortable that the mind is thinking about your discomfort. So that's the third one. Don't be too uncomfortable and don't be too comfortable. Then there is don't be too tired and don't be incredibly fresh like you've just woken up literally and you've not gone to the bathroom yet. So don't be too tired. That's why you have to have enough rest. Sleep time is sleep time. You must rest at that time. So that's the fourth one. And then there are a few other things a person can do. And if the fifth one is that if you are sitting and it still happens that you doze off and go somewhere after those four things, then you stand. You stand. Just like in the prayer, we can travel in the prayer, spiritually travel in the prayer, and you're standing. So you can do the amal standing as well. And then there's no way that your mind is going to wander and go to sleep when you're standing, unless you sleepwalk. So those 5 things, if you do them, then inshallah that won't be an issue. Find the middle balance. So it seems that maybe you're sitting a bit comfortably and maybe you're quite warm as well. Maybe it could be related to that. No? Okay. So but practice those 5 things. The other thing to know about that is sometimes when a person is doing zikr, muraqabah, and they think that they sleep, sometimes, not all the time, they actually are not sleeping. They are in another state. It's like a trance. And the example of it is that you are in a car and you are sat at the back. You are asleep. But the question is, are you traveling? Is the car traveling? Is someone else driving the car? Yes, they are. You're sleeping. So the passenger in the back sleeping and the driver driving, can anyone say that the passenger that was asleep did not travel? No, of course they can't. They did travel. They just didn't see anything. So that's the state that you could also have been in, where you were traveling, but you don't remember what happened because you were in a trance. And that's possible. So, but do the first 5 before, then you can know that that one was happening, inshallah. Anyone want to give feedback? Not questions, just feedback about your experience, your thought level experience, inshallah. Especially the people who are our guests, who've come here for first time. Otherwise, I choose someone, inshallah. How about the brothers from different countries, especially? Yes, Brother Mustafa.
I think I was able to imagine everything, and my imagination was quite vivid, especially when you mentioned the angel of death and how they put their hand inside. It was almost as if I had a fear at that moment as well, at the same time. But I was able to follow and imagine as well.
MashaAllah. Are you normally able to visually imagine it like that clearly?
Just with thoughts and imagination, but not so clearly all the time. Yeah.
So it was more clear to you?
Yes.
So that's what happens when you're in the company of other pious people, Hazrat Sahab, Mashayikh, they're present. You see, many people forget this. When they come into the gathering of pious and righteous people, blessed, good things happen to them. But they forget that it was because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave that to me because of the person. They sometimes attribute to themselves. Never ever ever attribute anything to yourself. Always realize it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through such a person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes to give things through the means that He uses. And He uses the pious friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He uses. He gives you through them. The fairs, the blessings, the spiritual openings, it comes through them. So inshallah, does anybody feel they need a short, very, very short break, or we can go straight into? Hands up if you need a break. Stretch, yeah. So only 2 people put their hand up, 3 people. So does that mean most don't want a break? Hand up if you want a break. 5 minutes. Okay, so inshallah we have a 5-minute break. Stretch, go to the bathroom, do wuzu, and then we'll carry on inshallah. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika.